This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, thank you for joining. And today we have awesome session that SQL role in data analytics. So people will know that already that what is SQL, then how we can use this SQL in data science. So data analytics and data science pretty much equal, but let's see what is the importance right now. Okay. So is SQL needed to be a data scientist? The question comes here, do we require SQL in data science? If we can say yes, because SQL is having great impact in data analysis process. So let's see here. Now, what is SQL? So people already familiar with that. What is SQL? So SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and it is standard programming language for accessing relational database. See, this SQL is to get data from database. So I will explain different types of SQL in different types of databases we are using. That I will explain what is the impact there. So now SQL is just structured query language. So whatever we use that in a query basis. So SQL is basically a minimum that a data analyst must use this SQL. So data science is different and data analyst is different. So that I will give you the clarification going forward. So the majority of data analyst jobs involves running complex queries in SQL. So most of that people will use SQL to write queries to fetch the data. So in writing queries means we will have different types of commands for SQL, like you can say DCL, DML, that I will explain. So now to fetch the data from database, then we are writing complex queries. So now stop confusion. We have different types of SQLs like Oracle SQL, SQL Server, MySQL, and you can say Teradata SQL, Netezza, and DB2, Informix, Hive, Spark, and different types of SQL we have. So stop confusion now what I have to learn. So what you need to do, you can learn Oracle, you can learn MySQL, you can learn Teradata, whatever you learn. But all the databases will use 70% of SQL from ANSI, American National Standard Institute, was declared that each and all the like 70% of SQL stuff should be equal in all the databases. So that means if you learn any one SQL, then you can able to learn all the concepts also. So that means start any type of SQL like Oracle, whatever, Teradata, Netezza, DB2, SQL Server, whatever. So pretty much easy. If you get in one SQL confidence, then you can able to learn all the database easily. So that's a difference here. So don't need to confuse now. Then I have given specifically here Spark and Hive. So Spark and Hive we will be using in big data. Okay, so that means Hadoop. So Hive, see, whatever you are writing SQL scripts, so all the select statements are equal in all databases, including Hive and Spark also. So that means you need to learn any one SQL process. That's it. So now you can avoid the confusion what to learn. So now let's see. So when you don't have SQL stuff, then you will not get job. So that is pretty much equal, because then you will get to know by end of the session that is really SQL required or not. So you can take your action whether it is agree or disagree after the session. So now let's see what is data science. So people will know what is data science. So data science is the field of study which deals the extraction of data and you can say data analysis and processing to generate meaningful insights from data. So nothing. Data science is whatever the data we have, that is fetching from raw data, different types of data sets, then processing the data, then after processing the data, generate meaningful insights. So why we want to generate meaningful insight? For further decision making or fact based decision making or data driven decisions. That means top level management will believe that on the basis of our insights, then they will start processing further step to take the business decisions. So let us take an example. If you want, for example, you have one hospital data, then top level management asks that generate one report. Okay, you need to find out hidden truth in the data. What exactly inside? That is called data mining. Okay, so what exactly inside the data you need to find out. So if we have Excel or if we have text files, then we less amount of data, then we can use different, like we can use Excel and we can use Tableau, those things. But when it comes to huge amount of data, then we need to use data mining techniques. Okay, the people will get to know data mining in data science classes. So that means here data mining is simple, digging up data, what to find out hidden truth. So I have given hospital data. Then now you are going to generate meaningful insights. That means you need to find out what is the hidden truth inside the data. Then finally you got one insight. Okay, that is how many patients are visiting and how many missionaries there. Okay, how many doctors are there, nurses are there, what is the inventory in the medicine capacity. So you need to find out based on this analysis and generate one report. That report you can say you are going to give to the top level management or clients that okay, that report says the patients who are suffering with heart diseases, so many of the patients are coming to the hospital. Now you have given proper insight to the top level management. Then what will happen as a data scientist? So then what they will do, they believe that you have done proper analysis, and then they will find that okay, if you increase machinery or you can say monitors, oxygen or cylinders, okay, then doctors and then nurses and seating, you can say bed capacity levels, and they will bring medicines which is related to heart diseases. So based on the report they are generating, so they are investing money first. So now if your analysis is failed here, then if you say wrong output, that means wrong statement, many patients are suffering from orthopedic, then the statement you have given to the top level management, they invested lakhs of money, crores of money to build the system for orthopedic, but finally people are coming for heart diseases. So that means it's a failed analytics. So then it is a loss to the company, it's a huge impact to the company. So that means we need to do lot of analysis. That means first you need to get the data set, then you need to process the data by doing some data profiling, data cleaning, then we need to generate meaningful insights. So getting the raw data, processing the information, and then generating the meaningful insight for further decision making. That means fact based driven decision, like you can say. Then through data science we can find unforeseen, whatever we're broadcasting. That means we will find out what is going to happen in the next level. So that's a process of data science. So now we'll see here the difference between data science and data analytics. Data science, so as we can say, data science includes all the concepts, that means all the disciplines, that data mining, machine learning, or language, you can say data processing, data cleaning, data cleansing, data scrubbing, lot of things under data science. Now when the data science is, as I said, data science to find out the meaningful insights for further decisions. So now one word we can say what is the difference between data science and data analytics here. Data science as a data scientist, you create the questions. Then why this? How this? How? What happened? So that you are going to create questions based on the raw data. And as a data analytics, they are finding the solutions for that. So it is win-win situation. As a data scientist, you are going to give questions to the management, or you can say as a data scientist, you are going to project questions to them. Then as a data analytics, you are digging the data and finding the solutions. That's the difference between data science and data analytics here. So now let's see here. Many people are using, or you can say, data analytics. First, their first preference will be SQL only, structured query language. So the next priority levels will be Python, Hadoop, R language, machine learning, something else. But SQL is the primary concept people will prefer to use or to get the data, to process the data, and to can generate the some reports. So that means the first primary activity, that SQL. So now if we observe 2019, top level 300 companies have taken data here, and out of that 300, Python will be using by 287 companies. R language will be 245. So that means the analysis is giving here 287 companies out of 300. So data scientists are using Python, then R language is 245 and SQL is 231. So that is the third step we have to take care here, SQL. So now we have great impact the people who knows SQL. It is very simple, but people will neglect. So when you are learning SQL, then it is easy up to some basics. When you are going for complex level SQL, then it is very difficult. So you need to build complex queries. Okay. So learning few concepts, then we need to write SQL in a complex way. So that means we need to focus all the times Python will not work out. So make sure on that. Okay. So SQL is the primary concern for any company. So now, let's see here. Now you take why nano project failed here. So because their analytics was completely fine, but where that company goes wrong. So they have invested lot of money for advertising and sales promotion. That's okay. They invested lot of efforts to find out, to bring a car for lesser expensive, but it was good actually. But they failed that to find out the emotional attachment to the vehicle. That means, let us see we have poor people and average and rich people. Then understand here the scenario. Then poor people will not buy at any cost. Okay, let's see, they are capable also. So that means, so average people and rich people. Now when they don't have nano car, then their financial status will not explode, whether they have money or not. See, whether they have money or not, so society will not identify. But when they buy a nano car, then people will think that he has no money, that's why he selected nano car. So that means it is showing that exactly the financial status. So if you buy other cars like which more than 3 to 8 lakhs, then that will not shown as their financial status. But when we buy nano car, that means these people are not able to buy maximum like expensive cars. So then immediately rich people and average people will get impact on that. So that the scenario, people are not buying nano car. So that was this project failed. So they did not find out the emotional attachment. So only money will not bring you success. So then they have to think about the emotional attachment in the society. So they will not show that after buying a car, then people will think that these guys doesn't have money. So it clearly shows. So that's why they stopped buying this car. That's why analytics were failed there. So their process implementation, their micro environment is perfectly, sorry, this, their micro environment is perfectly fine, but when it comes to macro environment, macro means then, so like you can say impact on technique, sorry, impacting on sociological and government policies and society, so that is macro effects. Micro effects means which is happening internally, they have cleared everything. When they explode, they launch the product, they did not face the macro environment effects. So that why, so that's the problem here, nano effect. So nano project was failed. So here it clearly shows that their analytics were failed, so their analytics are not good. So now, based on this project, the people who has, the people, the, sorry, you can say the company who has great business analytics talent, the company will get success. So that clearly shows here. Now 5 reasons why anyone interested in data analytics should start with SQL. Now, if we compare 5 reasons, then SQL is standard. So the SQL came 30 years back, okay, and everybody is learning now. So they have already implemented in all the projects. So many programming languages will come and go, but this SQL is standard and SQL is in demand. As I said, all the companies, without SQL, no project is there right now. So people will use in Tableau, people will use in machine learning, people will use in Python, people will use in any type of project. Without SQL, there is no project. So that means SQL is great impact in each and every project. So when we come to SQL, manages large pools of data. So it takes 1 to 100 millions of data also. By writing complex queries, it can process. That facility it has. So that's why SQL can be more impact in the project. And also SQL helps in understanding your data set. So if you write queries, when based on queries, then you can able to identify then what data set it is. Even whatever the data set, SQL can process that. So that the feature it has. Whether it, so but it's a system. SQL is a just components, but it's related to the database. Now you can say, if you say Oracle, we have SQL loader. When you say Teradata, we have BTEC script, fast export, fast import, those things. When you say Oracle, also ODI is there, Oracle data integration. Now compactable is ETL transformation, that is extract, transform, and loading. When we will connect with Informatica, then we can process the data. So what type of data set is there, then it will connect immediately. So that we have great impact. That's why we will select in data analytics process, then SQL is the major concern. Now SQL is easy to learn. The people are already very familiar that SQL syntax were easy. So based on this process, SQL is standard and demand, the more demand, and SQL manages large pools of data, and SQL helps in understanding your data set. So that's the reason that people are selecting data science. In data science, SQL is the major concern. So after that, in machine learning, then you can say R language, Python. Before that, SQL is the first priority. Okay. So why means some companies also, instead of using cost, like you can say cost based programming languages, then SQL is the standard approach. But now it is gaining boom because of one thing, that is big data. So now it is capable to do the analysis, to do the analytics using Hive SQL, okay, and then Spark SQL. So Hive in the sense, so we have big data in the sense huge amount of data that can handle using Hadoop ecosystem. Hadoop and big data is not same. Hadoop is ecosystem which consists of different types of components. Like you can say Hive, HBase, Pig, like you can say what we can say Scoop, okay, Apache, so Flume. So many components we can group together and call it as a Hadoop. Hadoop is not a database, it's a file system. Hadoop distributed file system where we can store unlimited data with including unstructured data also. So now we can fetch the data from Hive and Spark. So these two are related to the data, like inside big data. So now think about, without big data, then there is no project nowadays because it has unlimited storage capacity. Second thing, it's a open source. Apart from that, what we require? So if we give one mobile which has unlimited storage and which is freely acceptable by many apps and those things, then apart from that, what mobile you require? So everybody is fighting for to get the GB, the storage capacity, right? And processing capacity. When two things are there, then you cannot prefer another mobile, and we don't require also. The necessity is closed. Same that in the same way, big data also we have large amount of data, so we can store it, and unlimited data you can say, and then open source. It's not licensed. We don't need to buy. So in these cases, now SQL is impacting in data analytics also. Now data science, big data and machine learning, and then like I say Python and SQL. So SQL also a part of ecosystem for data science now, because data science, that means we need to generate meaningful insights. Then how we can generate meaningful insights? From where? We need to bring from big data. Now if you take other databases, within the fraction of minutes, terabytes of data is coming into the databases. So that means we have to select only one way, that we need to go big data. Then on top of that, which can work out to fetch the data, then SQL only. So now it's a great impact as a data scientist also. So now let's see. So this is a basic information about it, okay? Now, so as you know, some people already working in SQL, and the people who have not taken serious about SQL, just start now. So by taking understanding about RDBMS knowledge, okay, or you can say relational database knowledge, and then SQL commands, like you can say. So these SQL commands can be useful for update, delete, drop, those things. That means you can say data definition language, data control language, you can say data query language. Those commands will be there. And SQL functions like number function, group functions. Then you can pick group function, means you want to find out maximum salary, you want to find out minimum salary, average salary. So few functions will be there. And then joins are very important when you want to join the tables. So there you can say inner join, outer join, those things. Just if you spend 5 to 6 days, you will get SQL stuff in a proper way, okay? So then indexes is to create scanning mechanism. That means if you want to fetch the data, then first you need to create index. So that index, how it will work, then we can see from where. So because instead of going for full table scan, it will go for index scan by method wherever. So now I have 25,000 records. Now if we create on employee name, then if you create index directly, it will go for where exactly the name is there. If you are not creating index, it is going to search each record by record, then it is not in a performance wise. So we will be creating indexes also. So these are the major concepts, and few other concepts also there, but focus on these things and you will get complete stuff in SQL standards, okay? So it's not very big complex here. So if you face it, so try to see, syntax were very simple, then try to do your own examples. Don't need to by heart any syntax, just habituate by suffering in front of the system for 7 days, then SQL in your hands. So now why I am saying here, I'm not saying that you are going to get job in SQL, but this SQL is everywhere. If you go for automation testing, if you go for data science, if you go for ML, artificial intelligence, wherever you go, SQL is required. If you go any interview, some questions from SQL. So that we need to manage. Okay, it's not for getting job and then you need to work in project in a different way. So if you can increase your profile validation also. So if you have great skills or SQL skills, definitely your profile will be shortlisted immediately also. Okay, so now let's see. So now, based on my discussion, when you don't have SQL, then you will not get job. Nowadays, I'm talking about when you are going as a data scientist and on the top level positions right now. So previously only SQL jobs were, now also there, but if you want to go for as a data scientist and other level like Python developer, SQL is now it's required. Sometimes we may not use Python, we can use only SQL to process. It's not related to Oracle SQL, MySQL, but if you have something SQL stuff, then concepts are easy. So are you agree, right? Now we can say 3 times we love SQL. So because it is the way that we are converting into, see, you can increase your profile, that's it. So this session were just giving a value to your profile. So say 3 times we love SQL, then it will the stuff we want to learn, then you will get some positive vibrations to go and learn SQL. So after learning 5 to 6 days, then check yourself whether you are going to get stuff or not. Okay, so SQL is, so don't take it easy. You can ask the people who are working in SQL, so they will know what is the pain to write the scripts. So in the advertisements on their outside, they will have some only 5 to 6 examples. That's not exactly SQL. I'm talking about once you learn SQL, you need to suffer in the project. So beside some people will be there, you can ask them how much complex that SQL query. So to create on that. So it's not that much easy to get the stuff. Okay. So now send me one mail and I will give you one free gift that you can get because you have joined my session. You spend some time. So that's what I'm giving you free gift. Send me one mail to me that I will send you complete documentation as a free gift for you for SQL stuff. Okay, so you don't need to suffer it anywhere. I'll give you complete understanding about SQL documentation. Okay, so thank you very much. So this session is giving a value to you, that's it, not for anything. Okay, so I'm going to take all the sessions day by day with new concepts. If you have time, you can join or you can collect recording also, that's your wish. So do you have any questions so far? So do you have any specific questions here?
Arjun?
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, this is Javed. So what is the relationship between SQL and Python? I mean, is there any common task that we can do with Python and SQL?
Yeah. So Python is just a programming language. SQL is, it's a structured query language where it will work on database. Now, if you want to bring the data from database, then you need to use SQL commands as a select queries. Okay.
Okay.
But this Python is just, it's a middle layer code. It's a middle layer code between database, that means what we are discussing about SQL, and then front end. This Python will work. This Python will connect by using some credentials. It will connect through database. Got my point?
Yeah, okay. Is there any
So
third-party module for that?
fetching the data from database, but it is See, now sometimes you may work in Unix, sometimes you may work in different tools. That means, but Python is just access layer. You bring the data by taking connections. That's it. Then you can explore the data to the front end. Got my
Yeah,
point?
okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So any questions so far?
Yeah, Arjun, I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so you said no SQL is equal to no job,
Yes.
but no SQL is booming right now.
No. No SQL
Yeah.
means it's not no SQL database.
Okay, it's
So
a
I'm
big
asking about
database.
no SQL. That means no SQL knowledge. Okay.
Oh, okay, no SQL knowledge.
You got it right?
Yeah,
So I thought like
100%.
no SQL knowledge. Okay.
Okay,
So any questions so
but
far
no
today?
SQL is booming. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's specifically for data scientists. Okay. Now everybody is coming and migrating from different technologies into a database. So sorry, into a data science. Then some SQL stuff is required. That's why. Okay. So start learning SQL also. Add some value. Going on, I'll give you hungry points in the market. So I'm going to give sessions at free of cost, which is booming in the market. Okay. So find time. So we can schedule it. No worries. So check my status each and every time, you will get it. Okay. So far any questions? Okay. So if you don't have any questions, we'll close the session today. Okay. So send me one mail to get free gift. Okay. So thank you so much guys for spending time today. See you on the next class.